Today we're going to be talking about polarity. But to talk about polarity, we first need to understand what is polarity. So I'll try to make this as easy as possible. Polarity is basically wherever you're plugging your shit in. So we have our well door right here, right? We have our positive and negative terminal. Then we have a stinger and we have a ground. So for example, if we plugged our stinger into our positive and our ground into our negative, bang, just like that, we are running DCEP, which stands for direct current electrode, because our electrode would go in here, positive. Direct current electrode positive. Let's talk about electrode positive real quick. It's also known as reverse polarity, which you will never really hear anybody call it that. It's the most common kind of polarity that you're going to be running, especially if you're doing stick welding, and it provides us with the most penetration. But if you're wearing Wobros, you don't have to worry about penetration. We just got to restock on these slick ass Aztec FRs. So whenever we're welding, we're just completing a circuit, right? And whenever we strike that arc, electrons go from the negative side and get sucked into this positive side. And with that, it takes about 60 to 70% of the heat. It's kind of weird to think that most of the heat goes up into the electrode, but that's actually a good thing. So what ends up happening is that heat goes up in the electrode and melts that filler metal and that flux down into your workpiece and deposits that heat and shit right back into it. So that is how that works. Now we're back here with our well door, positive and negative terminals, our stinger and our ground, but this time we're gonna do our ground to our positive and our stinger to our negative. And when we do this, we are running DCEN, direct current electrode, because our electrode would go in here, negative. Our electrode is plugged into our negative side. Let's talk about electrode negative. So it's pretty much just the opposite of electrode positive. Negative and positive are opposites. So instead of reverse polarity, it's known as straight polarity. Instead of 60 to 70% of the heat going into the electrode, 60 to 70% of the heat is going into the workpiece. Instead of deeper penetration, it has shallower penetration. And where electrode positive works good on thicker material, electrode negative works good on thinner material. There is another kind of polarity we'll touch on in this video real quick, AC, or alternating current. An alternating current literally means that it's just switching from electrode positive to electrode negative like 120 times a second. Electrode positive was up here and electrode negative was down here. That's why we have a positive and negative right here. This is what that looks like, except it's happening 120 times a second. This is called your sine wave. So alternating current is electrode positive and electrode negative hooked up one night, shit out a baby, and gave birth to AC. Hopefully you learned something. In case you didn't know, Wobros just had a big ass restock of some slick ass FR shirts. You can find them everywhere Wobros sell shit. Thanks for the support, everybody. Thanks for watching, and as always, have a good rest of your day.